Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Copper Wasp. Okay, so pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to see the pencil portion of this video, look in the description of the video and you'll see a link that you can click on that will take you directly to the Sharpie portion of the video. So for now, I have to start off with a quick sketch for myself, and then I'll switch back over to the Sharpie part. But yeah, this is mostly for, well, this is all for me, and I just need to come up with a good pose, and then I can switch over. But for now, this is all about us, right? Okay, so I'm getting the pose down, and then I'll flesh it out, so to speak. Okay, I'm going for like a big karate pose, you know, like here's a big, you know, street fighting Tekken style looking character, right? So I'm gonna do something like that. So I think, yeah, this is working out. This is going where I want it to go, and so I just have to keep going with it. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going by a picture, but not this picture. So it's like, you know, basically what do you call it? Where do you buy stuff? The item shop. It's an item shop picture, and I just have to take those features and put them into a drawing. And so the trick is I have to try to take all those features and put it in this pose. So yeah, so that's the fun part about drawing, and you'll figure out how to do it one day, is taking these poses. Let me find a better picture of his face here. Taking these poses and being able to do exactly what I'm talking about, do it the way you want. And that's the great creativity, the fun of being an artist, is you are the dream maker. You are the one that gets to make it however you want. So it's up to you to have fun with it. Okay, there's that. There's the eyes, like that. That looks pretty good. He's got the big old fat neck. Okay. Okay, and I just gotta make sure those small little details are put in there, because that's why you're here, right? You want all this fun stuff, and we want to be able to draw it and not miss out, right? That's kind of the whole idea. Okay, I like that. Looks good. Let's see, I'm gonna make his shirt bunge up a little bit. That's my word I use quite a bit, I've been finding out, is bunged. And when I'm saying that, I mean, like, you know, all squinched up. Well, squinch isn't a word either, you know. I guess I made up another word to explain the other word I made up. Kind of silly. Alright, so I think I'm good with that top part. I think I need to see, there's a shoulder there, there'd be a muscle there, and then his forearm, like this. I'm going to have it tucked up behind his back, and then I'm going to give him a fist here, and let's see how I can do this. See if I can sketch this out real quick. I'm trying not to spend too much time on the sketch because I need to get to the Sharpie portion, right? Okay, I think that'll work. Like that. Okay, looks good, looks good. Let's draw this hand out here. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have it coming at you. And I gotta make sure I draw the bandages. Like that. And so, let's see. Look at my hand real fast. I'll try to figure out how I'm gonna draw this. Okay. Okay, looks pretty good, looks pretty good. I like where I'm going with this. Okay, not bad, not bad. And let's see, in this finger, so this is going to be a little tricky because I have him kind of in a, well, I was going to say karate pose, but I don't know karate, so I can't claim this to be a karate pose. I'm going to put it in a fighting pose. How's that? I know how to fight. And I just basically just twirl my arms around in a windmill and run at you. That's how I fight. Sometimes I'll kick too. I'm just kidding, I don't fight. Alright, and so now... Alright, that's not too bad. I kind of want to do that finger up like that. There we go. That's more of a karate. I'm doing a kind of hand like this, so that's why it's kind of tricky to even make it look right, you know? Alright, we'll see what happens. I'm good with that, so let's keep going. Let me go back to the body just to make sure I'm getting everything right. Okay, and so now let me just draw his legs. Sorry, I got quiet there, didn't I? Okay, let me draw this one over here. So the legs going to come down, the knee's going to go right there, and I'm going to draw this one kind of out like that. And let me see what his feet look like. Okay, draw an ankle there. This is going to be more of a top view, I guess. And it looks like what's funny is he's got toes, but they're like almost like in the shoe. I mean, I guess with the drawing it's not going to make a difference. It'll look like toes either way, but they'll be colored metallic because they look like they are metal. Okay, so now let me draw this one over here. That. Okay, I think, let me look at it real fast. Okay, I think we are ready to switch over to Sharpie. So I'm going to switch over to Sharpie Fine Point and a Sharpie pen, and the pen is for the finer details that the fine point can't quite get. I can finally figure out the fine definition of the fine. Nah, okay, I'm just trying to come up with the word over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to get some of the small details of the face, and then I'll switch over. So, like his eyebrows. So I'm just going to kind of do that, and see, it didn't quite come out straight, but that's okay. I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit, but I want these thinner than I can get with the Sharpie. So I'm going to draw them like this first, and again I'm going to thicken them up, thicken them up just a little bit. I almost said thicken them up, and that's just not proper grammar. So now I'm going to draw his headband. This across, come back over, draw the top part parallel to that line. Make sure you pick it up when you get to the eyebrows because we don't want to cut through them. And then again, I'm going to thicken it up a little bit, and if you're using pencil you don't have to worry about this, but I'm just doing it because this Sharpie is going to be really fat, and you'll see the difference when it comes into play. Let me zoom in on the face real fast just to make sure I'm getting it right. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the eyes. And they're actually, no, that's all I'm going to do. It is a little thick and there's light inside there, but I think I'm going to do that with color. I'm just going to do this and then let the color take care of the rest of that part. So now I'm going to do the bridge of the nose, like that. And let's see what else you can see. Let's see. I'm not going to do the top of the head. I'm going to do that with the big Sharpie, but I am going to do the line up here that separates the mechanics of it, the mech of it, so to speak. Alright. Okay, and so now I can do his chin like this. I'm thickening it up just a little bit. Come back down on this side again, thicken it up just a little bit, just for me. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, don't worry. And then I will, I'm going to draw the inside of his face real fast. And then I'll come back with the big Sharpie and finish up the rest. So let's do both sides. Okay, and I think that's enough for the small Sharpie. I think I'm ready to move on to the big Sharpie. Let me just do a couple of lines over in here. That might be a little too long for the head, but that's okay. That is okay. Okay, so now I'm going to use this Sharpie to draw the rest of it. So I'm going to draw his cheekbones to the side of his head, which are going to come up a little bit like this. And I know that seems going in a little bit too early, but he's got more hair, so to speak, so it's going to come out like that. And that's why I was wanting to do that. Okay, so same thing, that's going to come out just a little bit more than those sidelines. And then I'm going to come up and draw the top of his head. And see how thick this is compared to the other Sharpie? That's why I was using the tiny Sharpie for the middle of the face. So all that detail would stand out on its own. Okay, so now I'm going to draw his, let's see, I'm going to draw his neck. I'm going to draw like this. Come up here and do this. And this is just the inner workings of the machinery. You know what? Let's do this. Let's draw his robe real fast. That way we have some definition lines of what's going to happen here. And then I can do like this. And I should probably do the other one over here too, just to give us some definition lines like I was talking about. And so same thing here. I'm going to come up here and do this. And there is another layer to it, so I am going to come around and do like this, because his robe, which I'll do like that, opens up like this, and it's going to come down, and that's the collar basically. Okay, so same thing, that's the collar, and you'll see once I color that in, it'll make more sense. Taking that up, or connect it, so to speak. And before I go any further, you know what, let's do this. Let's draw some of that mech, the mechanics. Sorry, I keep saying mech like I'm cool, but let's draw the mechanics with the thinner Sharpie. Just, well, if the line will come out, just to stand out with something different, you know? The thick versus thin. Line width is just going to make it stand out that much more. Okay, so we're kind of drawing his pecs here, like that, and then he's got more layers in there that we can't quite see. But see how that thick versus thin looks really good? It's nice to work on that technique. So let's go ahead and draw his. Is it a kimono? What's that called? A gi. His gi. That's what that is. And over here, I got it bent a little bit because his body is kind of bent like this. You know, at his, let's say this is his stomach. He's bent like that just a little bit. So this side is kind of all squinched in like that. Okay. So now we can bring it up here, and I'm going to do his rips in his sleeves, and I'm kind of exaggerating them. I'm making them really big because I like the look of it, so I'm kind of using artistic license to make it my own, basically is what I'm doing. I'm gonna, before I draw this side, I'm gonna draw the belt real fast so you have a reference point, and basically I'm just gonna do something like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw the other sides, the parts that are hanging down, but I have them kind of in a dramatic flare like this. They're kind of floating up because of his little action pose, you know. Alright. Okay, so that'll give us the belt, and now we have some start-stop points. So now I could do the other side of his coat, of his gi, like this. And we got to draw the inside of it, like that. And so now let's go ahead and draw that arm since we're here, okay? Wait, before I do that, I'm going to do a few little lines of creases and folds, just because he's all bent over. Okay, and I'm coming back, and I was doing that with this Sharpie because, again, the thick versus thin is a good contrast and is a nice inking technique that makes it pop and stand out. So, alright, so I'm going to work my way backwards because I need to draw what's in front first and then work back to the back, because what's in front is hiding what's back behind it. So that's the easiest way to do this, is draw whatever's in front. So I got to work on his hand. So it's going to be tricky because of the way, like I said, it's kind of like this. But let's do the challenge, okay? So I'm going to start with the middle of his hand, like that, work towards the thumb, and work up towards that part of his hand, the ball of his hand. So just bear with me that I'm kind of doing it like this, and then I'm going to come back and add a few more details with a sharper Sharpie. Does that make sense? He's kind of going like that. And look, that's kind of blobby, but just wait till, just like I said, bear with me. So here are the other fingers, like this, pinky finger, like that, and then the inside of his hand. Now, that looks really weird, right? But I'm going to try to make it work. I'm going to try to make it pop. I'm going to try to make it stand out by doing something like this. Okay? And so now, I kind of have it all detailed out, basically. And he's got a metal hand, so a lot of these lines aren't going to be there, but a lot of it's going to disappear with color anyway. So I just wanted to do this just to try to help define the edges of that hand, okay? And so once I start doing it too, once we move on, it'll start to make more sense. It'll look cohesive, okay? So now let's draw the forearm. I'm just going to come back here, and I'm kind of doing this to accent the wrapping around his arm. So there's his forearm like that. So there's his elbow. And again, I'm kind of doing this, I'm exaggerating the lines. And so now I'm going to come back in here and do something like this just to accent the lines that I put in. And I put in like these wrap lines. Oops. I kind of got away from me there. And that's just the wrapped, bandaged arm kind of thing. It's not really bandaged, it's like a taped up, I guess is basically the best way to say it. Alright, so now I'm going to draw his bicep, and that's metal. Like there's an elbow part right there, so I'm drawing that. I'm going to come in here like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and separate it like that. I shouldn't, but again, he's a robot. So he's got robot parts. So he doesn't have muscles, so to speak. He's got like that. He's got hard surfaces is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, and this one even goes like that. We're going to color that a little bit later. That's all black because of the little siding he has right there. Okay. So let's see, and I think he's got another one down here like this. That would make sense for muscles, right? Okay, so now let's draw this other hand here, and this one's kind of tucked back behind him. So all you really got to do is draw the bicep, which is back here, because the shoulder is back behind that. And I'm going to go ahead and draw that little side line like that, just to show the side. And then I'm going to come back here and draw the rest of the arm. So there's his wrist up to his elbow. His elbow. Yeah, the crook of his arm, that part of the elbow. I'm going to go ahead and close it off because, again, robot. And let's see, in this side, it's going to kind of come like that. Okay? So now we're just going to make a fist over here. That's the best way to do it because he's all in fighting pose. And so I'm going to draw the back of his hand to the pinky. Draw the pinky in. Kind of curl it up like that inside of the hand. And draw the meat of the thumb all hunched over. So now all these other fingers are back behind it like that. And so again, I'm going to draw a few little details like that. Oh yeah, you know what? He does have metallic robot hands. So I guess I kind of can get away with drawing lines like that because they are robot digits. Okay. Alrighty, so let's draw the rest of his gi. And so I'm going to draw one level like this. And draw the other level like that. And so now we're just going to draw his pants. And now it's basically just cloth. And so I'm just kind of following my sketch. Draw the ripped edges. Nothing too crazy about him. And draw a little bit of a knee. Draw his leg in like this. Draw the other one back behind him like this. And again, there's not much I gotta do because they're just pants, karate pants. Draw the rips in his pants there, and draw up to his knee, and come over here and do something like that. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and add a few little creases and folds. A, because I can, and B, to make it stand out. Because he is kind of crouched in a fighting stance, so I do want to like bend and show that his material is folding, you know. That okay. So now all we got to do is basically draw his feet. So like I was telling you before, he's got oops, lost my picture. He's got metal feet, so I'm going to come in here with his ankle, draw it up like that. I'm going to draw the top of his foot like this, and come down. Well, let's see, it kind of goes straight back, doesn't it? Let's see, it's going to go straight back like that. I'm going to go up, the heel's going to come down, come out like this, and go down for the toe, like this. And so the toes, again, they're kind of built into it, so I'm just kind of doing this. Okay, and that'll, let's see, let's add another layer to it like that. Just kind of give it some depth. Okay, so there's not much we got to do about that. So now let's do the same thing over here. So ankle down to the top of the foot. Then that little thing going across like that. Ankle down over here. And now we're just going to draw toes. So one toe up like that. These other ones down. You can't really see that over there. And I'm going to add just a little bit of a line across like that. Just to give it something. You know, a little bit of detail. So now I'm just going to draw this out like this. Draw that second layer like I was talking about, like a little bit of depth, you know. And I say we take care of the rest with color, so that is Copper Wasp. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.